Hello, everyone. My name is Francis Dassi. I am a certified Power BI developer in Colaberry, and Colaberry is a consulting firm located in Plano, Texas. And this project was actually built for me to be able to present to a client as a proof of concept. And upon completion of this project, I presented it to this client, and I was able to secure this client for my firm. So I'm very proud about this project, and this is one of the reasons why I will be presenting it to you today. So an overview about the project is Office Depot. We all know what Office Depot does. They deal with office supplies. The laptop you're using to watch me now, the books, the pens, all those things you're using, you probably bought it from Office Depot. So Office Depot is a very huge company. Its headquarters is in Florida. In 2014, it had a merger with Office Max. So you have these two office supply companies merging to be able to provide their customers with the best shopping experience. And so after merger, they decided to do like a performance analysis on the company to see those products that are not actually bringing in much revenue, do away with those products, those locations that were so close to each other, do away with those locations, and actually reinvest money in those products that will bring in much money. And so we all know that it's very important to have a profit and loss statement for every business, because this is the only way for the business to know if they are actually succeeding or if they are failing. So in 2017, Office Depot experienced a decrease in revenue of minus 21%. And so this project is basically going to look into those products, those items or those locations that are they are causing this failure, so that Office Depot will be able to make better business decisions to avoid such situations again in the future. So what I did was I went online, looked for a data set. It was from an Excel file, and I extracted this data set into Power BI desktop, did some manipulations, clean it up, and then using the Kimber star methodology, I was able to create this star schema right here. You can see right there, you have all these dimensions, and then it's connected to a fact table. And then for my key performance indicators, I use year over year, gross profit margin, and revenue per month. I'm going to demonstrate to you in the upcoming items. So the problems that I encountered in this project was the date column. For instance, after I loaded the data into Power BI desktop, the column that contains the date, it was difficult for me to convert it from text data type to date data type. So what I did was I did some more research. I found out that the data type for the Excel file was actually from New Zealand. And so I solved this problem by using the local option when doing the conversion, and it worked. Another problem that I experienced was the fact that the key columns for my dimensions, for instance, the location dimension, it wasn't unique. We had an ID, a postal code that had two different cities. So what I did was I merged both of them together to make that column unique, and I call it location key. And then I was able to link my dimension to my fact table. And that is how I solved the problem. So for the negative and the positive insight, I am going to demonstrate this to you on dashboard itself. So this is the final project. This is the deployment. I created this project from scratch. I deployed it to the Power BI service, and I have this link. So my customer or the end users, they were able to go to Power BI, to the app, and consume this report. So if I click on this link, you'll see this beautiful dashboard. So you see this beautiful dashboard. The first thing you see is Office Depot logo, and you have the title of the project. And then you have three different cards. I use revenue per month. Look at the color for revenue per month. It is dark green. And then the year over year, which is comparing the revenue for the different years comparing revenue for different years. When you select one revenue today, it's gonna give you a comparison with the previous years. And then you have gross profit margin. Look at the color. The color for the year over year is orange. And then it has this green indicator, which when it increases, it shows green. When it reduces, it shows red. And then the gross profit margin is the same color, is blue, dark blue. And I want you to take note of those colors. So I used three different cards to represent that. And the last one is a slicer. So the data was between 2015 to 2017. So what I did was I used a slicer, and all the users had to do was to slide from 2015 to 2016 and 17, and this will automatically filter the whole report. So if you look at the first visual on your left, it's a beautiful shape map. I used it to represent profit margin by state. Just looking at this visual, it's very easy for you to know that anything that shows blue, according to the legend, is high, which means that state or that location actually brought in more profit, 15% and above. And then anything that shows red, it shows that that location or that state did not bring in enough revenue. It had either zero or a negative. So looking at this visual, the client or the end users was able to just look at it and tell, okay, this state, I'm not making enough money in this state. And so it was so easy to bring out that information. So the next visual on your right, top right, is profit margin by month, year. And this, I use a line and star column chart for the rest of the visuals. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you, I'm not going to go through each and every visual to show you what it talks about. I'm just going to show you the insight because of time. And I will click on Michigan. So look at this shape map. All I have to do is I just need to hover my mouse over each state and it will give me the information. It will tell me what state I'm looking at. If I click on Michigan and then I click on December in profit margin by month and year, I need you to look at year over year percentage. It's 44. And so I moved from 2015 to 2016, it goes to 1%, and then it goes to a negative 21%. So this is December in Michigan in year 2017, where Office Depot experienced this decrease in revenue. So I will go to profit margin by category because I would like to check and show Office Depot those items that is actually making them to have this decrease in revenue. And so I would enable my drill down functionality. And then looking at the category, profit margin by category, I have technology, I have office supplies, I have furniture. So with office supply, it has minus 28%, which basically tells you that is the highest item that was really affected with the decrease in revenue. So I'm gonna click on it to see the item that were causing that decrease in revenue. So the first item I see right here is binders. Binders is minus 61%. And let's talk about binders. Binders, you buy a binder today, you put in your items in the binder, you store it in your office, at your home. That binder will stay there for 10 years, 20 years. When you're about to die, you're gonna put your binder in the wheel and hand it to your son. The son will use it for 200 years and hand it to the grandson, just like that. Binders are reusable items. It means that they do not really get bad and they do not really depreciate as long as you keep them really good. So this is an indication for Office Depot to see that it is high time for them to reduce the investment where that comes to binders and maybe invest money in something that is bringing in much revenue. So the next item on this list is envelopes. It says minus 37% in revenue. Now, this is December. December is the peak period where people send letters. Hey, happy Christmas. Hey, how you doing? They buy gift cards, they put it in an envelope and they send. They write letters, love letters. December is that period where is the holiday period where people actually exchange letters. Why is it that in December, Office Depot that is supposed to be making so much money, it's instead making that loss? Why is it? Now, let's look at it. This is 2017. I can't remember the last time I bought a gift card and put it in an envelope and send it to a family member. What I would do is I will go to my Cash App, I will go to Zelle, I will say, hey, congratulations on this. This is a $50 Cash App that I just sent to you. There's no time going to Walmart to get a gift card to put in an envelope. If I want to send you a love letter, I will just go to WhatsApp and say, hey, or I'll call you, hey, I missed you. No more time for letters. It's 2017. This is high time Office Depot starts to realize that it's good time for them to start some diversification. Envelopes, people don't use it as much as they used to do before. That is why you can see that at this peak period where they're supposed to be making so much money, they're not making that money. So they need to start doing some kind of diversification. People invest that money in something else that will bring them so much more money, more revenue. So the next thing I would do is I would drill back up. And then if you look at this profit margin by category, you see that technology was affected, but it wasn't affected as much as office supply or furniture. So I'm gonna click on technology to see actually what was the first thing I see is phones. Phones were the highest that was affected. When I talk about phones, I'm not talking about your cell phone, your iPhone, I'm talking about office supply phones, like office phones. When people buy office phones, they put it in their offices, they never use it. Well, it never gets bad. It might get bad, but there's no one moment that I've heard somebody say, oh, this office phone doesn't look so good, I have to go buy a new one. Those are things that you can use them for 10, 20 years. You don't have no reason to go buy another one. So this is why you can see that phones are not really bringing in enough revenue for Office Depot, especially at this time, because people don't really buy a lot of office phones like that. They don't make changes to their office phones like that. What Office Depot can do is, instead of putting in so much investment into office phone, they can actually divert that investment and reinvest that money into something that can bring in much revenue. For instance, just look at the next item after phones. It says copiers, and copiers is at 169%. Copiers is at 169%, which means that it is bringing in enough money for Office Depot. That is one area that they can always reinvest money in. And so I want to ask this question to everyone. Does anyone have a printer, copier at home?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Ben. Thank you, Ms. B. Thank you so much. So you have a printer at home. So let's assume if you didn't have a printer at home and you wanted to print out something from your phone, from your email, and you didn't have a printer, do you know where you're gonna go?
Any store, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, any of those?
Well, I'm so sorry, but that is not gonna work. I had a vacation, I moved to Atlanta, and unfortunately, the house that I was living in, it didn't have a printer. And so what I thought was, oh, I can just go to Walmart, I can just go to CVS and print out my stuff. But when you go to CVS or Walmart or Walgreens, they tell you they do have a printer, but they will not do printing there because they do not offer printing services. What you need to do is you need to find a particular location, FedEx, to go do that printout. I had to drive 30 minutes because I was in the country, 30 minutes, spend all that money in gas just to go print out a single document out of my email. That was terrible. That was a terrible experience. And so it taught me one lesson. Printers will always be bringing in money. It's a necessity. I left after doing that printout, went to Office Depot and bought a printer, and it made Office Depot some money. And that is not only the item bringing in Office Depot money. When you buy a copier, it doesn't end there. You have to buy papers. You have to buy accessories like the paper, the ink. It will keep bringing in money for Office Depot. This is one item that Office Depot don't have to play with. They have to bring in much money. So this is it about the negative insight. I will go and show you some of the positive insight. So I will click on August, and then I drag my year to 2016. So you see year over year is still showing minus 38%, but I'm about to talk about positive insight. Why is it showing minus 38%? So it is showing minus 38% because let's look at this category. I just talked about copiers. I told you copiers are one of those items that will always be bringing in so much money. But now it's showing minus 100%, which means they did not make any sales with copiers. But I just told you it's a necessity, it's always bringing its money. So now, what is the issue? Why is Office Depot not making that money that they're supposed to make from this product? So they have the right product, they have it, but why are they not making money? Look at the time, it's August. If your business is not involved in tourism, if it's not selling summer product, because this is summer product, this is holidays. If it's not involved in selling summer products, it's not involved in tourism, it is likely that you would not be making a lot of money as you used to. So this is one situation where Office Depot have the product, the copiers, which is the right product that is supposed to bring them money, but they are not making money out of it. Think about a situation, you can go to Walmart or you can go to a restaurant. You will see that restaurant fully staffed, but you won't see nobody making any purchase. Nobody is buying anything. That is a situation where that is happening right now. They have the products, but they are selling or they're investing money just at the wrong time. In August, people are in vacation. Decisions are made, decisions are slowed down, projects are delayed. People don't really purchase work items like that. Until September, after they come back from vacation, that is when they start making those business decisions. So look at this, look at year over year, it's at minus 38%. I'm gonna click on September because that's when people come back from holiday. It changes to positive. People are buying, people are making business decisions. October, the same thing. November, the same thing. And December, when it's a holiday, it goes back to a negative. So I would basically tell you that Office Depot, they need to make some kind of changes as based on the insight that I just showed. So for suggestions, Office Depot, they can make extra money. They can actually make more money. Instead of opening new locations, they can use existing vendors. Instead of Office Depot going to open a business in a state, we have already seen the shape map showing those locations that are not making enough money. Instead of them going to open a new business or a new outlet in a location that they don't know, they can use existing vendors. I would choose a reputable vendor. They will use their staff members, they will use their employees, and they will use their branding to sell your products. And that way, you can just sit back and think about, look at the way the products are performing. Are you having more sales? It tells you to invest without risk so that you can tell if you invest in that location, you will be able to make more money if the product is actually doing well. So instead of opening new locations, use existing vendors. And then the last suggestion that I want to bring for Office Depot is to research on customer and build rapport. So I'm going to throw another question out there. If I ask you, hey, I would like to get a cell phone, where can I go? What would you recommend? Can anybody give me an option?
Best Buy.
Best Buy. Why Best Buy?
Because it is an electronic store.
Very good. I would also recommend Best Buy, not only because it's an electronic store, because Best Buy has given me an experience that I will always cherish. That every time I talk about Best Buy, I want to say something positive about it. So I would tell Office Depot, build that customer rapport so that they can always remember. And I will tell you one experience. If you go to Best Buy, I love those employees so much. They will not let you leave that place without getting your money. They are so smart. If you want to buy a phone, what they will do is they will check around and they will see you don't have the phone. But you know what? I'm going to check the other locations around me. I will check this Best Buy in the city, check this one. If they do have it, I'm going to have them bring them to you while you're still here so you can pay us the money and you get what you need. If those locations don't have it, they will tell you, sir, just give us a few minutes. I'm going to check it online. I'm going to order it. I'm going to tell you, hey, you can stay in your home and get that phone delivered to you, and you still pay the money. They must take your money. If you get your phone at home and you don't like how it looks, bring it back to the store. They would fix it. They will not give you back your money. They will replace it, except it comes to the worst. They must take your money because they know how to deal. They know how to build that rapport and make you get what you want. And that is how you will always give them what they want. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.